I'm going to show you what we can do with cheap little things. These little succulents are sold in many nurseries, and they're just cuttings which are put in a pot and they root. This is a very small leaf variety of Portulacaria or jade tree. There are many varieties of jade, and in India I've seen some jades which have got massive trunks, and they're all extremely wireable. Now in this little pot, which is like, what, maybe a 9-centimeter pot, they've stuck some cuttings in, and believe it or not, in each of these pots there are 3 plants, sometimes 4 plants. So there's no excuse not to be able to make bonsai. And if you know what you're doing, we can make some beautiful little bonsai from these. I remember in India when I used to go there, I showed them how to make mame bonsai from that. So let's just show you simply by trimming what we can get. Again, the basic principle is to make it a conical shape. For all the trimmings you do, if these you stick in pots, you know why they're so cheap? Because they're so easy to propagate. Each of these stuck in the pot will make another plant. So you can imagine it's so easy to make it. So there you are. Without any wiring, it begins to look like a tree. Now let me just apply some wire and see what happens to that, because I'm sure that if you wire it, it may look even better. I'll find some very, very fine wire. Just bear with me while I go and get some wire. Okay, I've now got some 1 millimeter wire, and I'm just going to wire 2 branches with 1 piece of wire. Many people think that jade can't be wired, but I remember the varieties I used to work with in India were very wireable, extremely wireable, and they make beautiful plants just from wiring. So there you are. I've just put 1 piece of wire to do 2 branches, and already it's looking very much like a tree. And if you keep trimming it and don't let it get any taller, it will become a very credible bonsai. So that's just one. And if I were to put it in that little pot, you can have a look at these trees meanwhile, and I'll just put this in a pot and I'll show you the end result. Now this pot is rather large. I could have used a smaller pot. There you are. So literally in a matter of seconds, you can produce a little mame with these jade trees. So again, to reinforce what I did, let's pick up another one, well rooted. Again, conical shape is what you need to aim for or aspire to. And there you are, another little mame tree. And if you put several together, you can get a forest group with this. They can make a lovely little forest. So there you go. That's all you need to do with these ones. And you can do it with the same variety but on a bigger scale and get a much bigger tree. One of these days, I've got a very big Portulacaria that I'm going to work on. I'm going to show you what we do with it. So that is how we do these simple little jade trees. So simple to do. And if you wanted to make a little bit of pocket money, you can propagate these just by sticking it in the soil and you will get a new plant. How easy is that? Now I will show you something else which is going to be a very nice little Christmas project. And let me just surprise you with what I'm going to do. Okay. So you must be wondering why I have this oval pot. I have this oval pot because I'm going to show you how to make a little Christmas scene with these little conifers. These conifers you can get in many different varieties. They're all different. Now that one is different from this one, but they can all be used for making these little forests. So let's begin by doing that. So when I make a forest, I always tie the trees in. I tie the trees in so that they don't fall out. You don't have to, but if you don't tie it in, you will have to leave them in there for quite a while for the roots to get properly established And once they get established, they will be quite safe in the pot. They won't roll out of the pot. So what I will do, now remember what I taught you. If you want to make it look like a tree, you need to show the trunk. So let's remove some of these lovely branches which are low down. If you were so inclined and want to, you can wire these branches, but you don't have to. But if you wire the branches, they would be better. And for every little twig you cut, you put it in soil, you get a new plant. So the cuttings are very easy to make. The reason why these are so cheap to buy is because they are easy to produce, and it doesn't take a lot of imagination. I have a lot of young people, I discovered, who follow me on YouTube, and they are obsessed with bonsai. I think it's a lovely hobby to be engaged in, because I remember when I was a boy, I used to do a lot of model making model aeroplanes and model houses, and I think bonsai is no different, except that it is a living thing, and for that reason it is probably more interesting. There you are. That's all I need to do. You can play around with it to see 5 trees. I put a group of 3 and a 2 like so. And the purpose of the wires, you will soon realize, is that I tie the trees in so that they don't escape or fall out. So I will keep them in that position, go around, twist it round. I think after maybe 6 months you can untie it and make sure that it's not strangling the tree, but it can stay there for quite a while. And I will show you the entire process. Don't worry. See, one piece of wire I have tied all the 5 trees in, and then I will join the 2 pieces of wire so that it doesn't come out. And from there, I will now get some soil. Have a close look while I get the soil. So this is our standard bonsai compost mix, but you can just use any type of bonsai, ordinary garden compost, not necessarily bonsai compost. Bonsai compost obviously better because it drains well. You see we've got akadama in it and pumice and all sorts of interesting materials, but as I say, you don't have to. As I always tell people, I don't do my business a service because I'm telling people not to use our products. How stupid is that? Really stupid. I get told off by my staff. But I'm here to teach bonsai. Firm it in, and for the final touch, I have some moss around. Let me look around. And this is the moss we scrape off the paving. I scrape it off in sheets, and all you need to do is a bit of carpet laying. And by putting the moss on, you make it appear as if the tree has, or these trees have been growing here for ages. And to add a little bit of authenticity, we add a bit of rock to simulate the effect of these trees growing in a rocky landscape. I always tell people not to put too many rocks. If you put too many rocks, it begins to look a bit too artificial, but that's 2. I think 2 is more than enough. I usually only put 1 in. At Christmas time, this is a new product that we've started doing. You won't believe, they're selling like hotcakes. Absolutely selling like hotcakes. I can't produce enough. I'm running out of moss, although we have such a lot of moss all over the nursery. I'm soon running out of moss. So there you are. How about that for a Christmas tree? Done in virtually 3 minutes. And just to show you, we are mass producing these. Everyone is different. And there you go. So many little forests. And you don't have to stick with this particular variety. You can even use these varieties. These are fine as well. And to give you ideas, you can tie them on pieces of slate or rock, and you don't even have to use a pot. So there you go. Simple things to do at Christmas. Well, in case you're wondering what this video is all about, this is just some of today's parcels which is going out. Today is the 21st of December, Monday, and we're sending over 200 parcels as of now. Later on in the day, it may exceed that. And this does not include the European parcels, because all European parcels have been banned. There's nothing going across the channel today or for the next 48 hours. So happy Christmas, everyone.